Welcome to a second version of our 8-minute videos. Today with two of the three Coyne Brothers that own the restaurants and the pubs on the east side, as well as the McMahon Coyne Vitantonio funeral home, where the biggest brother works as a funeral director. And we also have with us McPat is with us today. Seamus kind of blew us off, so he didn't come in. He's not in the interview, to heck with him. So we're going to go ahead and talk to the boys a little bit about what they're doing here over here on the east side in Willoughby, and all the many things that they're doing, because there are so many. Well, starting out with Fiona's Coffee House and the Wild Goose, Willoughby, and then here the newest place, Nora's Public House, as well as a funeral home. So they all keep busy. We're all hugely involved in the community, and I think their manual is probably covered with plaques and those kinds of things, but it's not just for the plaques. That's a secondary thing. It's because of all the work that they do with the community, mainly the Irish community, but also the local community that they're in their community as well. So we'll start off right now with Kevin, the oldest brother, one in the blue on the right. Kevin, thanks for getting together with us and agreeing to the 8-minute interview. I'm going to hit right into it. Tell me a little bit about your earliest Irish memories, whether that be here in Cleveland or wherever they might be.
Sure. Hi, John. Thanks for having us on there. Thanks for having us on. And our other brother is actually working down there at the Goose, so he feels bad he's not here. But when you have a family business, sometimes when the cook calls off, you're stuck working. And but our earliest memory, or at least my earliest memory, is we were born and raised in the Irish American Club on the east side, and so as a little kid, I'd go into the club. On the way in, my dad would listen to Irish music, Daniel O'Donnell, Wolf Tones, all those guys. So in the car, we listened to music. Once we got to the club, and because he was one of the original guys, him, Jerry Quinn, a few of the other guys, and so as a kid, I grew up hanging around there. We'd be cleaning the club, listening to Irish music, and then Dad would take me everywhere. Any festival, any gig. Our sisters, the Irish danced for Sheila Murphy. So as kids, we remember going to Fesh's in Cleveland, Detroit, and but yeah, really being around my dad, and he would always talk about his grandparents or about his parents. And Irish has always been in our blood. So,
Pat, how do you think about all that?
Not to copy off of what Kevin's been saying, but mainly, the Irish American Club was a huge part of our upbringing. And same thing, I just remember always being at the Irish Club and, being that little kid running down the hallway. We always go down to the pub area. That was, I think, the best area to go down. So going down those steps, I think I got yelled at quite a few times of getting on that chair that rides you up and down a little bit. So I got yelled at a few times for riding that, but all in good fun. Growing up at the Irish Club was awesome. Just St. Patrick's Day in general, our parents would obviously excuse us from going to school that day. And I just remember starting the days off at St. William's Church for Mass, and then going over to the Irish Club, and then going over to the McGarry's party. And that was basically what I always remembered growing up doing. And that was like, if I had to reach back into my Irish roots, that's where I'd start it all off, is at the Irish Club.
And do you think that that's where some of the love for the pub business came to you?
I would say so. For those people who haven't been able to see the pub down at the Irish American Club, it is a neat little pub, and it definitely captures a lot of the European Irish pub feel down there. So I think hanging up down there and growing up down there, I think sure, probably, yeah.
Where it came from.
Yeah.
Kev, we're going to switch back to you. In your community, whether it be with the funeral home, helping out your brothers at the pubs, or Fiona's, what is really most important to you in why you do it?
The biggest thing for me, and he'll probably copy off of me because he's my younger brother.
You're letting him go first. Yeah.
It's having the family businesses and being there as a family. In all of our businesses. You go down the street to Fiona's, you'll see my sister down there right now. Her daughter's working down there. You go into the Wild Goose, you got Seamus in there cooking. Our cousin's in there bar backing. So right there, you got 4 family members there. You come down here. We have our garage door open, so that's why the sound might be a little bit not the greatest right now. But if you come on down here, it feels so good on social distancing, even though we're not social distancing. But the thing that we take pride in is it's all family. A good friend of ours going to the funeral business. A good friend of ours passed away last night. Chris Wensler, and my brother and I, we went to the house. and to see the people, our friends' faces when they saw we were at the house picking up their loved one. And that's what makes all of our business special. And when you go and hey, here's our other brother. He's here.
Oh, he's here. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
We have the third. He did come. He's done cooking.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Seamus.
Hello, nice to see you.
Too.
So, yeah, so that's what makes our businesses special, is that it's all family, and then we take pride in family working, and that's what it is.
You're in a very difficult, what most people would assume is a difficult business, funeral business, and it's also difficulty in the pubs as well for different reasons, but you're dealing with a lot of the emotions of people, good, bad, or indifferent.
You're right.
How does that show itself as you go on through life in the business that you do?
Really, it almost all starts with our dad. We see our work ethic with our dad, and life goes on, and you just got to be kind and nice to people, and we see stuff every day. And from going from the funeral business to the bar business, I mean, you got your highs and your lows, and but really, it starts with him, and he taught all of us our work ethic, and just being nice and kind to people, and being honest. I mean, that's the whole key, and that's what all of us are. So.
It's self-perpetuating.
For sure, absolutely.
I think a lot of people don't realize that.
Absolutely.
Or they learn too late.
Yeah.
How about Seamus, for you? How about earliest memories of being Irish and your philosophy of Wild Goose and that kind of business?
Yeah, us growing up, we were always raised by mom and dad with the Irish. I always remember riding in the car with dad, and the Irish music was always on. If it wasn't an Indians game, it was Irish music. And we grew up at the Irish American Club. As on the east side, I remember walking around the club when we were little and playing in there. And every Sunday was family day, and we'd always go to the Irish American Club on family day. And so as time grew on, as we got older, when we decided to get into the restaurant business, it just kind of that came with us, just our Irish pride and our Irish heritage. It kept growing, and it goes back to just when we were little and just how we were raised and how to treat people right, and us being at the funeral home, all working together with dad at the funeral home. You're around new people every day, new families, and one day we were out for lunch one day, ourselves and dad, and we decided to get into the restaurant business, and it worked out good because we were all young at the time, and we're still young, but we just had a big group of friends that came along with us,
And how did you, career-wise, kind of college to how did you end up where you are now?
So from high school, it was to work with dad and go to local college, Lakeland, and when I was working with dad, and we ended up getting into the restaurant business. This was back in 2000.
Yeah.
I think is when we started Mix, and from there, I went and I became a police officer for 5 years. I actually worked at Lakeland College Police Department, just from a lot of our clientele that came into Mix at that time, and McPat went off to become a fireman. And then everything just kind of fell back to the restaurants. We love it. You're around new people every day. You get to, we see people in their highs and their lows, and that's great. So.
And is it still a good decision now?
I love it. Yeah, I do. Even as tough as it is now with COVID going on, I love it. I love, and it's so funny. We were saying the other day, there was a guy came in here 2 mornings ago, and it was for one of the early games, the 7:00 game, the Premier League. And the guy sat in the chair and he put his arms up and he goes, "Yes." And I'm like, "What's going on?" And he goes, "I haven't been out since the day one of COVID." He goes, "I've been looking forward to this day where I could come to Nora's and watch a game." And he sat there and he had his pint, and it was awesome. But we love it. We love the business. It's a big family though. We have, at the 3 places, we have a lot of staff, and we always say that we work together. We look at that more than our bosses, or than us being their boss, and the staff makes it great. So
We all say they work with you,
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, right.
That's important. So, Pat, I'm going to switch over to you. Do you guys all consider yourselves entrepreneurs? and yes or no, your philosophy?
Yeah, I would say so. Just everything that we do now, if you look at it, it's all family-owned business. You know, my father took over the funeral home from McMahon, and then he grew it into what it is today. You know, as far as the restaurants, obviously our father got us into the restaurant business. You know, we did really well with Mix, and then coming down here, Seamus and I and Kevin started up at Crow Patrick's, then off on our own, and then Seamus and I came down here, and you know, it's not real new territory, but you know, the farther away you move from the other place, it becomes newer, and you know, the downtown area was kind of a bigger thing for us to take on, and I think we grew the business and kept putting businesses in the area that we loved. So I think starting that from nothing kind of made us the entrepreneurs that we are now. We're not big entrepreneurs, we're just small business owners trying to do our thing, you know.
Right. Make a living and still make a difference.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Beer with the Lads. Where did that come about? And
So, Beer with the Lads, it started when COVID, when the COVID started, and so all our pubs were shut down.
what is it? What is it? Tell people about what it is and how it works.
So Beer with the Lads. So we actually were together with our dad. We were out having some. We were out out and about. We were at home actually, and we were just out sitting having a beer. And it was my dad's idea. He came up. He's like, "You guys should do a live video feed, and just talk about local stuff going on, and talk about your bars while everyone's stuck at home." So that's what we did. So usually you'll see all three of us on a Beer with the Lads, or you might just see two of us on there. But what it is it keeps the Willoughby community going. We talk about all our daily specials that we have going on at both our bars and the coffee shop. We talk about anyone that might have passed away. We give shout outs to other businesses, mainly all of our friends. And we're friends with mostly everyone in town, so we give shout outs there. But and we just talk.
There's nothing so valuable as word of mouth.
Oh, it's huge. And when you so if you're at home and you're watching this, go on Facebook and like our thing, Beer with the Lads. Even though we don't do it as much, like during the COVID, we were doing it up to 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And we had so many people like just talking about it. And now even still, people are like, "Man, I haven't seen an episode of Beer with the Lads." So we did one about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So we're gonna do another one, and it's just a great way to tie in the community and also promote our businesses. So.
It's very easy for a family to get separated in their work lives and all that kind of stuff. Here, the opposite has happened. So it's a great thing that you guys spend as much time as you can together. Have it brought you closer or further apart? How's it work?
Yeah, well, we've always worked really well together, so we've always had that closeness going on for us. But I think with the Beer with the Lads, which was nice, a lot of families weren't able to see each other. Definitely not seeing our parents. I have a new baby, he's got a new baby, and for our parents not to see their grandkids was tough. But for us to be able to get together, we even got my dad and some of our friends involved. We social distanced. We're not right now, but we did. And, I think that was really good, and it kept us all close with each other during this. And a lot, like Kevin said, allowed us to just talk about, what's going on, and if there's any things up to date that we can provide the community about what's going on with the local businesses.
I think the depression, mental illness kind of stuff is getting a lot of play right now. But the thing that they talk about the most is everybody being alone.
Yeah.
And that Beer with the Lads and that kind of idea, working together, can help keep some of that down.
Yeah. I can't tell you how many people told us they looked forward to Beer with the Lads because they knew at 3:00 in the afternoon, even though everyone was stuck at home, at 3:00 they were going to have a beer with us, and people, I think that's one of the biggest things about a pub and a restaurant is, to me, there's nothing better than a beer sitting in a bar stool. And I know it's nice to have a beer at home, but to sit in a bar stool, there's nothing better. And it also kept us relevant too. So the point with the Beer of the Lads is just to stay in touch with all of our friends and our regulars at home, but also it did keep us relevant as a restaurant. And people were still talking about us, and that's always big. Is whether it's good or bad. Hopefully it's good, but at least they're still talking about you.
Right.
So.
Been forgotten.
Yeah.
McPat, for you, what has been the greatest challenge of all of this? I don't want to put any parameters on it.
Yeah.
Greatest challenge in your life?
I think the biggest challenge right now is just kind of finding out what the new normal is. That from, when we shut down, they did a big road construction here in downtown Willoughby in the month of February. We took that as a good opportunity to close down the Morehouse and rebrand ourselves as the Irish pub and dive into the Irish roots that we always wanted to bring back. And, we opened up right in the first week of March. Everything was going great. And then, then COVID hit. And I think the toughest thing for us right now is just trying to find a new normal. Trying to follow the guidelines to the best of our ability, trying to make sure that the customers are following the guidelines. That's the toughest thing for us, because not only were we restaurant owners and, maybe our job before was getting you, your food and your drink and making sure you enjoyed everything. Now our job is also on top of that. We're making sure you're sitting down. We're making sure you're not getting close to new people. We're making sure all that stuff. We got to limit the amount of people we could have in here. So they're adding more job responsibilities to us. It's kind of tough for us to make sure that everybody wants to follow those rules exactly. So
You can put yourself in a hard position.
exactly,
Yeah.
absolutely, and it
How
has.
have people responded so far?
For the most part, everyone's been responding pretty well to this. I think the hardest time we have maybe is a little later at night when people are out and they've had a few to drink and they're feeling a little more loose. Mostly everyone, a lot of people have been stuck inside, so they haven't seen their friends and they haven't been close with people. So when they're out and they see their regular bar friends, they want to be more social with them. And I get it. But that's the toughest part, is trying to get them at nighttime to just, abide by the rules a little bit.
How has it been with the people wearing the masks? Are they responsive to it?
Yeah, it's been really good. Our workers do it, and we have this thing too. It's really hot outside, and I know if you have prescription glasses or health problems, you won't really necessarily have to wear it, but we do, and we're very respectful to our tables, our customers. If they want us to wear a mask, we'll put it on for them. That's not a problem. But I think, working out in this heat, it's tough. A lot of these people breathing in that hot air, it's not good for them. As far as customers they come in, they wear their masks. When they're here, they take them off, and everyone seems to be having fun doing it. It's a little more normal for everybody, I think.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there slowly. So,
How about for you, for Kevin, for the funeral home? How have the adjustments been? What have you had to do?
Oh, it's been so crazy at the funeral home. You went from having huge, big traditional funerals to all of a sudden you have someone that, is so big in the area, and now you can't even celebrate their life, and then when churches weren't letting people in too. I mean, that was so hard. Visitations at nighttime, there were no visitations, but now it's kind of loosening up a little bit, and the whole thing is just being smart and just keeping your distance. But it has been so different for the funeral business too. Even in churches, you have to keep your distance, separate, skip a pew, and so. But yeah, at the funeral home is just, we have sanitizer all over the place, and it's all up to families if you want everyone to wear masks. Us workers we wear the mask, but families are kind of like 50-50 on that right now, and it's only natural. People that we know, when they lost their loved one, you just want to hug them and shake their hands, and it's just so weird to not shake their hands, or you kind of go up to somebody and you're like fist bump, or
You don't know which to do.
yeah, you don't know what to do, and you don't want to compromise any older people out there, so you're just trying to be safe. My dad, though, he's old school. He hugs you.
Yeah, like it or not.
Yeah, like it or not, he's gonna hug you, John O'Brien. So,
I've had a couple of those.
yeah.
So, before the COVID hit, were there any particular plans kind of at a higher level that were delayed?
As far as us in the restaurant business, before COVID hit, our goal was here, right? At Norris.
Yeah.
When we had the Morehouse did good. We wanted to change, going back to earlier talking about our heritage, and we've always wanted an Irish pub again. We wanted to do something, and we loved, and we talked about, okay, well, the Wild Goose and Morehouse, do we switch one of them? And we love the idea of this place because of the brick walls and the wooden floors and whatnot. So we that was our biggest goal, is okay, how can we do this? How can we change? But people that knew us knew that we wanted to do that for a long time. And when we made the change, we couldn't have been more happier. And we're still not done. We're still waiting. Our sign will be done out front. We got our awning approval yesterday. But we're not done here yet. When we opened, I think we were only open for 12 days.
Yeah.
When it hit.
Just short of
And
2
then on
weeks.
March 15th is when they closed us. But every day, John, we were averaging over a keg of Guinness a day. And then the wheels were rolling. We had the Premier League in the mornings and all the brunch going, and it felt good. And it was colder then too, though. So you had that coziness of the pub. And then when COVID hit, it put everything to a halt. Now, like McPat said, just the new normal. We're just trying to figure out how to get back there. And it's tough right now, but I really think we will get back. I think people wanted to get back.
No question. They're tired of looking at the same person.
Yeah.
Every time,
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can't beat going out and having a beer somewhere, watching the sports, and
Right.
it's not the same from home.
Right.
So what, once things stabilize, what do you think is in your near future as the business geniuses that you are?
Well, thanks for that. I don't know. Doing something new all the time. It's fun and we enjoy it. And we're always looking. We're not actively looking, but we're always looking. We're always keeping an eye and an ear out there if something pops up. Like Shane said, and I said, we were just excited to get Nora's going and roll with it for a while, and then see if something pops up along the way. But as far as me and Seamus, we're going to be diving a little bit more into working with Kevin and my dad, which we're really excited about. I'm in first full year now, done with my first apprenticeship at the end of August. So, it was going really well. And then when the virus hit, me and him had to focus more on what we actually did for our livelihoods, and that was the restaurants. So I think we're both really excited to get back into working with Kevin and my dad more. And then we'll go from there. I think, if you're telling us that you're going to buy a bar with us and you got the spot, and then I think we're interested.
I've got the voice for the radio. I stand aside.
I think we should go to the west side, compete with our buddy Pat Campbell over there.
Oh, yeah.
We can talk to Pat.
Oh, yeah. So I think that's where we're at right now. We're enjoying what we're doing, I'm starting a family now. Seamus is adding to his family, and I think that's kind of what I want to look forward to right now.
You don't want to overbook so much that you forget about them.
Correct.
It's too important.
Correct. Yep.
You have two sisters?
We do. We
So
have
there's 5 altogether?
2 sisters. Megan's the oldest of the 5. She probably won't like me saying that, but she is. And then there's Kevin right after Megan. And then you have Aaron, Seamus, then myself.
Yep.
And a lot of relations here
Yes.
outside of that?
Oh, yeah. As far as in the neighborhood here, we have our aunt works with us at Fiona's. Everyone knows her around here as Aunt Judy. Our cousin owns a plumbing business in the area. Our other cousin's a realtor in the area. A couple of our cousins are in the news. So, and our brother-in-law works, he's the head coach over there at Willoughby South. I have a brother-in-law that coaches and teaches at Willoughby South, another one. Our mother runs Fiona's for us pretty much. She's the back-end book deal for us.
Who
So
has a great Irish bread?
That's Megan.
That's
It's
Megan.
Megan?
Yeah, she makes that Irish bread real good.
Well, we're going to have to do a little challenge on that. All the Irish pubs and such around to do that.
So yeah, we got a lot of relations in the area.
Nice. So just to kind of wrap it up, is there anything we haven't talked about, anything you'd like people to know about coming out to any of the pubs or Fiona's? Or no offense, Kevin, we don't
No.
want to visiting your area.
Well, Kevin's working here too with us.
That's
You
true.
could come see
That's
Kevin on Thursdays and
Yeah.
Saturdays up here at Nora.
And Kilpatrick's once in a while. Does it?
No, here.
You done?
This is it.
This is
Yeah.
it. Good.
Yeah. So can I talk, John, here? So that's what we take our pride in, okay? And when the boys converted this into Nora's, they brought our whole family in. So we're all here working. And there's a contest that just happened on Cleveland Hot List. And, we were up there in the top to be top Irish pub in Cleveland. And the results haven't come out yet, but hopefully they'll come out with us number 1. But that's what we take pride in. We take pride if you come in here, the Goose or at Fiona's and at the funeral, we take pride in our service. And that's what makes us different than all these other bars out there. You go in any other bar and just anyone comes up and says, hey, how are you? What can I get for you? But when you come here, I mean, more than likely you're going to see one of the Coynes coming by. We pride ourselves on table service. I mean, if we're here, we come out to the tables at the funeral home, and that, we learned it from our dad. You know, it's customer service, and that's what makes us better than everybody else. And I truly think we are the number one Irish pub in Cleveland. I'm here on Thursday nights, you know, Saturdays, and you know, they say Italians make the best pizza. Bullshit, the Irish guys do.
Is that right?
I mean, our pizza is so good. You know, donuts, we do. We take pride in it, and that's what it all starts at the top. Our mom, our dad, you know, they taught us how to be with people, and that's how we are, and that's how we entrust that to our kids, and our kids are doing the same thing. And it's funny watching like Fiona go around saying hi to people, or my son Liam, they come in and they're clearing off tables, and it's really cool.
Sweet.
So
Tell me a little bit, just kind of describe for me Wild Goose. What is it like? What's it known for?
Yeah, Wild Goose. We've been at the Wild Goose 8 years now.
8 years.
8 years we've been at the Wild Goose. When we went down to downtown Willoughby, that was our first spot when we came down. And the Wild Goose was before us. There was a restaurant called Bottega, and they were known for their stone oven pizza. And so we came in thinking we were gonna try something totally new. We thought we were gonna maybe go with burgers or a pub menu or whatnot. And when we started playing around with the pizza oven that they had there, we knew we had to keep it. And like Kevin was teasing about the Italians making the pizza. Well, we get all of our dough from our good friend Paula, who has a Leshy's in Willowick. They make all of our dough. So we get all of our dough actually from Paula that at Leshy's. They bring it into us like 5 times a week. We get 163 pounds of dough, and I never thought we'd be doing it. But every day we're pounding out the dough and portioning and balling it and proofing it. And but we have 15 different specialty pizzas there. We have craft sandwiches, salads, small plates, and wings. I'm sorry?
What is the address?
The address is 4144 Erie Street. It's right here in downtown Willoughby. So if you do come to downtown Willoughby, you have Nora's Public House at one end, and you have the Wild Goose and Fiona's at the other end. So you got bookends right in downtown Willoughby. But I tell you, there's a lot of good pizza places out there. We love ours. We got a thin style, and it's stone oven pizza. We sell a ton of it. So
What is your website and the hours?
The website is the Wild Goose
WLBY.
the Wild Goose WLBY at yahoo.com. The hours are right now, because of COVID, we have a little bit of limited hours. So Monday through Thursday we open at 3 o'clock, open till 2 in the morning. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we open at 11 o'clock in the morning all the way till 2 in the morning. And Sunday we do all day happy hour at the Wild Goose, along with here at Norris. So if you go on Facebook, you could find all of the locations. So the Wild Goose, Fiona's, and Norris. So
Pat, you want to take a crack at describing Norris?
Yeah.
And hours and everything?
Yeah, absolutely. So Norris here. Norris is located at 4054 Erie Street in downtown Willoughby. Norris, when we did the transformation in the beginning of March, we took our dining room and we added these big booths to it, with these nice, awesome European style little pub stools with small tables. We put a little fireplace in here to give it that small pub room feel over here. One thing I think that's really unique that sets us apart from a lot of places is we have a snug room. And most people don't know what a snug room is, but snug rooms are very, very popular in Ireland, and they were back in the day. So I'm not going to tell you what it is. You're going to have to come in here and see it so I can explain it to you. Then the back of our bar, one of our friends, John Jarlos, is a Euclid fireman. Him and some of his friends, they built out our back bar, and all the beautiful dark woodwork framing gives it that more homey feel to it. We got beautiful stained glass done by Mr. Carroll. We got all new bar stools in there. And then I'm sorry.
You have a deck out there too.
Oh,
don't
we
you?
do. We have a really big outdoor patio. It's almost similar in size as the one out here. We got a nice big bar out there. A lot of good outdoor seating. My father-in-law built that, so he did a great job. Our menu here is what we were really excited about. A lot of people, when we changed the Morehouse, they were really upset, thinking that we would get rid of a lot of stuff. Well, we kept our big heavy hitters. Right now, we don't have them, just lack of smaller menu and growing due to the virus. But we're going to have our brisket, our pork, our ribs. We still have our mussels. And then on top of that, we've added Irish fare, which we're really excited about. We're doing potato pancakes, shepherd's pie, bangers and mash. And then you mentioned the Irish bread. The vegetable soup Seamus got from our cousins over there in Ireland. He stole their recipe. And now we do their vegetable soup here, and our sister does the bread, and it's phenomenal. So, we do Sunday brunches, and we do a true Irish breakfast with your blood puddings, your bangers, your beans, your eggs, your bread. And then we open early Saturdays at 7 a.m. for the Premier League and 9 a.m. on Sundays for the Premier League. So, yeah. And one thing, I'm going to say one more thing then. What a lot of people don't know about us too is with the restaurants, they're all named after us. So Fiona's, the coffee shop, that's Seamus's daughter's name. The Wild Goose is our last name, Coyne, translated into Gaelic means the wild goose. And then Nora's, formerly Morehouse, which was my mother's maiden name, and now Nora's is that's my first daughter's name. So, we like to tie a lot of our family into what we're doing. Our workers are our family, our communities are our family, and we're really happy doing what we do, and we love it down here, and we wouldn't change a thing about it.
It's pretty cool to have a third generation
Right.
involved.
Right.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. How about Fiona's? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so Fiona's it's the number one coffee shop in all of Cleveland. We do everything's based on, and I'm looking at them because they probably know a little bit more on this than I do, but it's all based on local. So we got Rising Star Coffee, we have Mitchell's homemade ice cream. My aunt and my sister, they do the baked goods every day. My brothers, they get up at 4 or 5 in the morning every morning. These two, it's them doing it. They're making the bagels. Our hours are Monday. Actually, I tell you what, go to Seamus on this because he knows this a little bit better.
No, that's all right. Like Kevin was saying, all those good Cleveland companies, and we also do Great Harvest out of Menor. One of our high school buddies runs the Great Harvest in Menor, and so we carry them. But our thing when we came into Fiona's is we knew we had to be different, and the one thing that was, like Kevin touched on before, is we pride ourselves in being nice to people and trying making people feel at home. And that's one thing that are just all of our staff. When you come in, you're going to get the hellos and the goodbyes, and Aunt Judy's going to ask you about your day. But all that great food at Fiona's with the donuts, we're mainly known for our donuts and our bagels. But it's great, and it's actually a little relief from the restaurants and the bars. We kind of, we'll be working throughout the day, and we'll go over to Fiona's and just sit down, have a cup of coffee, and talk with somebody from the town. It's really nice. It's our nice little getaway. Our hours at Fiona's, we're open every day at 7 a.m. Till 9 o'clock at night. Pre-COVID, we were open a little bit longer at nighttime, but right now just till 9 o'clock at night, and that's 7 days a week. But our sister Megan, the oldest that he mentioned earlier, she's actually partners with us at Fiona's. So she's between her and my mom, they run the place. So they make it easy on us. We don't have to do much.
And the humbleness comes through with all three of you guys, but it's the hard work that's made it work. You can't emphasize enough how being involved in the community beyond just here's your food. You're creating an experience for them, and that's what people remember.
Yeah.
They may
Thank
not
you.
remember the corned beef at somewhere. I went to the Coyne Brothers place, and man, that was really good. So some of the other things I've seen, as well as some sponsorships of things, sports teams and all that kind of stuff, they're all welcome here. They're all welcome to come in, whether you want a corned beef sandwich, an authentic corned beef sandwich, or you want to just sit and have a beer, or watch a soccer game, or a football game, as you guys would say.
Yeah.
You're welcome to do that. Of all the community involvement, of all the pubs, of all the professional careers, What really stands out for you at this point as highlights besides family?
I tell you, for the funeral business, it's the look on the people's faces, knowing that they entrust us with their loved one. And there's nothing better than knowing the relief on someone's face when they see that we're there to pick up their loved one. And it's amazing. It is. And to me, that's just knowing that they can trust us.
Yeah, I would like to say too, I think with the restaurants, I think one of the more gratifying things for Seamus and myself was, during all these hardships and everything that everyone was going through, the community outreach was fantastic. And, we did a couple of days ourselves where, we would donate free donuts or free pizzas to the community just because we knew how hard it was for everybody to kind of cope with this and get along and try to find, instead of going to a grocery store, get them some food, so they don't have to. But I said before, the community outreach was great. And by that, I mean, we had people, local people calling us. They would buy X amount of, or donate X amount of money for us to make the food to give to people too. And, since they've been back, they haven't shied away from being afraid to open their wallets and spend some money and support local businesses. And I think that is really, it's really great for us to see the community do that. We're from a great small community, and we're really happy to see everybody reach out and help each other.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. Thanks so much to all of you guys, to Seamus,
Thanks, John.
to
Thank
McPat,
you,
Thank you,
John.
John, very much.
Kevin. Thanks so much for all your time and welcoming us here. And folks watching, we look forward to seeing you at either Fiona's, at the Wild Goose, or here at the newest place, Nora's Pub.
Don't
Thank
forget
you.
your mask. Thanks, John.
Everybody's got to wear the mask.
That's
and we gotta
right.
wear
We
the
got
mask.
him.
Oh yeah, got it on.
This is nice. It fits my big head.
I'll take care of it.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, John.